and welcome to MDL Solutions Meet the Team. My name is Adam, and MDL Solutions has a phenomenal team of individuals within MDL that are experts in the heating and cooling industry that is known not only for its amazing products, but for customer service. I'd like now to introduce one of these phenomenal employees who is soon to be retired, but has been very much involved with the company's success to date. Please welcome Jim Kennedy. Why don't we start off with who you are and what is it you do for MDL Solutions?
Well, my name is Jim Kennedy. My position with MDL is Director of Finance. Basically, I do all the financial accounting for MDL, watch the banks, control the banks, and the credit cards, and all that good stuff. Do the corporate tax at the end of the year for the CRA, and that's about it.
Well, I was going to say, you're the most important backbone of any business. Without the proper financial understanding of a company, it doesn't exist.
A good accountant can make a company, and a poor accountant can break a company. Very simple. Chris and I work as a very close team, but Chris and I in the financial end, that's it. And it works.
So how did you come to work at MDL then, Jim?
We were at a wedding in Niagara Falls. At that time, going back, 4 or 5 years, I had my own business. So I sort of backed off on that and came to work for Chris. And we were sitting between the wedding ceremony and the reception and all that stuff, just having a good time with everybody. And Chris was there, and he just happened to say to someone that he was looking for an accountant. And my wife piped up and said, "Oh, my husband's an accountant." So that's how it all started. And it's been a good road. And one thing led to another, and I started out just doing a corporate year-end for Chris all through my company. Actually, it's more than a business relationship. Now we're friends.
You've been at MDL for quite a few years. What has changed from when you started there to where you are today? Would you say the biggest
major changes? When I first met Chris, that was in 2017, 18, something in there. And the corporation has grown from that point to this point with 10 employees. Very successful. Chris is a very smart person. I don't know, when you do it every day, it's hard to explain your job because it just rolls through it. Yeah, it's grown from 2 people to 10. And,
so what you've seen since you've started, Jim, from where it was to where it is today, and it sounds like that is quite an accomplishment. What do you feel it could do in the next 5 years or 10 years from now?
MDL, it's hard to say. The way the world is going, the world has drastically changed in the last 2 or 3 years. The product that MDL offer the world, the quality, the cost, I would say that they would have to be number one in the world. And with all the major projects going forward, whether it's Canada, the US, doesn't matter, anywhere in the world, MDL can supply it. And the big reason for that is the quality of people Chris has on board. The team, they're very knowledgeable, they were well-versed engineers. You have to be a good engineer to talk to them. The language. It's just everything. The only problem going forward is the way the world is. That's in raw material availability and product shipments from manufacturing plants to job site, etc. And that's only because COVID started. Once that settles down, the sky is the limit as far as expansion for MDL. They have a good quality product, a good rapport with the manufacturing plant. There's major jobs out there in the future. When I say jobs, that's the wrong word. It's project in the future. MDL, I would say, more qualifies to be part of those projects by supplying the materials. It's more than it. MDL, they engineer, they design, they supply. It's a one-stop shop, if you will, only it's major. There's good days ahead. They have very qualified salespeople out in the field. Everyone is. Chris is doing it right.
Now, out of curiosity, Jim, if you could go back and talk to yourself at the beginning of when you started, what advice would you have given yourself?
I wouldn't change anything. The only thing, and I tell my wife and kids this all the time, and they're growing up with their own family. I kick myself whenever I think about it. When I was a young chap, my dad offered me the farm. I should have said yes instead of no.
Well, just curious, what kind of farm was it?
Family farm outside of Hamilton. You grow grain and hay, and you make a living from the farm. I was too dumb to say no. To say yes, I said no because I was working in the time at the city. You get a paycheck, and that means more than working 7 days a week on a farm when you're a young guy. But that's okay. Now, other than that, I wouldn't change my life in accounting. It's been a good life. It's been a good road. Yeah, there's a few glitches.
Yeah,
we all have that.
Absolutely. So what advice would you give to someone starting at MDL today, no matter what their position is?
Well, after the new person had been checked out and you know they qualify for the job, the first thing is you have to be a team player. If you're not, don't take the job. Other than accounting, you have to be a good qualified engineer. If you don't have experience, you better learn it quick how to do things, how to talk to engineers out in the field if you're in sales, because you will grow automatically with the company. As it grows, you will grow. Everybody will.
And what would you say to someone interested in doing business with MDL?
If you're looking for a quality product, if you're looking for a good price, if you're looking for support after you purchase it, if you're looking for MDL.
So my final question for you, Jim, what's the next step of Jim's life? Where do we go from here after MDL Solutions?
Now, there's a good question. What's the answer? I don't know. Yeah, we're going to do a bit of traveling, and we're going to go back out to the Stampede next year, back to Banff. I love that place. Just tour around next summer. I get time to go to more baseball games.
I appreciate your time, Jim. I know on behalf of Chris, I know he speaks very, very highly of you and respects you deeply. And thanks, Jim.
That's not a problem.